A controversial lawyer is gunned down in a hail of bullets outside a hostel in the small town of Kurumane in the Northern Cape. As tributes pour in on social media, an even louder wave of voices express relief, calling his death karma. To some, he was a fighter for justice. To others, a fraud who finally got what was coming to him. This is the story of advocate Katlego Moribe. Let's get into it. 38-year-old Katlego Moribe was born on the 1st of September in 1987 in the small northwest town of Vryburg, not far from the Northern Cape. Katlego completed his LLB at Northwest University in 2011 and began his legal career as an attorney in Pretoria. In 2017, Katlego moved closer to home and established his own law firm, Moribe Attorneys, in Kurumane in the Northern Cape, which is about 140 kilometers away from his hometown. His law firm handled a range of legal matters, including personal injury claims, such as through the Road Accident Fund, as well as family, corporate, and criminal defense work. Beyond his legal profession, Katlego also had other entrepreneurial interests. He successfully established and ran a tombstone business, which he ran on the same premises in Kurumane. On Saturday, the 1st of June, 2025, at around 9 p.m., Katlego Moribe and his friend, Gyorapetse Moruagomo, who had been driving Katlego's car, arrived at house number 12, Asagai Hostel in Kurumane. As Katlego got out of the vehicle to open the gate, unknown gunmen launched a brutal ambush, firing a hail of bullets that struck him 9 times in the head and upper body. Katlego died on the scene, despite a rapid emergency response. Moruagomo, who had remained seated in the vehicle, stated that everything happened so quickly that he was not able to see the attackers. However, he escaped without injury. In the days that followed, family members, friends, former clients, and even church members and mentors who mourned Katlego's death spoke openly and publicly about his character and ambition. His ex-wife, whom he had married in 2016 and divorced sometime before 2021, also joined in with the heartfelt messages on social media, describing him as a devoted father who had so much love for their 2 sons who were aged 10 and 6 at the time of their father's passing. However, many other people also took to social media to express their disdain and hatred for Katlego, calling him a fraud and a thief who allegedly stole millions from his clients. In Kurumane, some were openly celebrating his death. Others even went a step further, accusing him of having had his clients disappear or even worse, be murdered after their road accident funds payout had been made to him. One person commenting on a post on X claimed that he had a relative who went missing after he was last seen with Katlego, who had been assisting him with a claim. When the family inquired, Katlego allegedly told them that he had no idea about the person's whereabouts. According to that post, the individual is still missing. Now, all of this remains allegations, and allegations that have been made against someone who's not here today to defend himself. But still, I believe that it is important to look into a few of Katlego's cases outside of his role as a legal counsel. So some of the times that Katlego himself was on the wrong side of the law with road accident fund cases, as well as other cases. I will discuss a few of those cases, and you can judge for yourself the type of man Katlego Moribe was, as well as comment on potential motives for his murder. The first case took place in March 2024 at Ratlou municipality offices in the Ngakamudiri Mulema district of the Northwest Province.
Because I can tell it's not going to end up nice.
This encounter is largely in Setswana, so I will narrate what took place there and what was Katlago's role. The Chief Financial Officer of Ratlou Municipality, Mr. Tumelo Letlojane, was suspended and barred from entering his office. When that took place, he arrived accompanied by his legal counsel, Katlago Moribe. The municipal manager, acting on the resolution to suspend the CFO, called security to escort the two out. However, a confrontation broke out where Katlego was insisting that his client had every right to be at the office since he was employed there. After a few minutes of Katlego arguing with security, the municipal manager entered the room and told security to carry both Katlego and his client out if they continued to refuse to leave. Katlego then demanded to see the written resolution authorizing the suspension of the CFO. When that was presented, he pointed out that the resolution did not have a date, and therefore, in his view, it was invalid. However, there was a date at the bottom of the document. When Katlego was shown this date, he was not satisfied and rather escalated his demanding to see the full agenda of that meeting at which the resolution had been passed. From what I observed, Katlego was trying to play both the role of the lawyer and judge at the same time. But eventually, frustrated with the constant back and forth, the municipal manager instructed security to forcibly remove both men. Finally, accepting defeat, Katlego stood up, but not without firing a parting shot. He insulted the municipal manager, calling him a mere matriculant with 4 Fs. The municipal manager responded with a warning. I will show you.
Get out of the office. Get out of the office.
Matriculant,
Get out of the office.
4 Fs.
I'm saying that get out of the office. Get out of the office. Get out of the
I will
office.
take this power away from
Get out of the
you.
office.
I guarantee
Get out of the office.
you are a mere matriculant.
Yes, but I will show you.
You forged
show you.
documents.
I'll show you.
You are
I'm saying get out. Get out, man.
Nothing.
Get out of the office.
That moment has not been forgotten. Some on social media have pointed out that this very exchange between Katlego and the municipal manager, and the municipal manager saying, I will show you, shows that the municipal manager is the first suspect. What are your thoughts on this? Could this municipal manager have been so volatile that he would hire hitmen to kill a man over insulting him about his education or lack thereof? And by the way, if you are intrigued by my storytelling, please like this video. It is one of the best ways you can support this channel, along with watching the ads. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. The second publicly known story that is not a mere social media allegation is a case between Moribe Attorneys and Miss Kelebogile Mashele. Moribe Attorneys, which had been contracted by Kelebogile Mashele to handle her road accident fund RAF claim, subcontracted Glenhazen Malachi Inc., GMI, to handle the claim in a case that they took to court. RAF was ordered in that case to pay out a claim of 1.9 million to Ms. Mashele as well as pay her attorney fees amounting to 645,000 rands, which amounted to the total of 2.6 million rands, which was paid out by REF to GMI. REF did so on the 25th of January 2023. 5 days later, GMI transferred 1.9 million meant for Ms. Mashele to Moribe Attorneys. However, by July 2024, more than a year later, Ms. Mashele had not received a single cent of her money, despite making several attempts to get through to Katlego to get her money. She then made an attempt to cancel the mandate with Moribe Attorneys, but cancelling a mandate after it had already been carried out, as the judge would later state, was not possible. Nonetheless, in October 2024, Ms. Mashele approached the Gauteng Division High Court in Pretoria to intervene. However, the judge initially found against her, stating that first, the urgent application to the court was inappropriate, as her attorneys could not substantiate why this was an urgent case. Secondly, the cancellation of the mandate could not be terminated at this point. Therefore, Kilebogile must go back to her attorneys, Moribe Attorneys, to get her money. After that appearance in court, Moribe Attorneys still did not pay Ms. Mashele. And 2 years and 2 months after the payout had been made by RAF in March of this year, 2025, Ms. Mashele once again approached the High Court. This time, the same judge who had presided before found against Moribe Attorneys and ordered them to transfer the amount of 1.9 million rands to Ms. Mashele within 5 days. There is currently no information available as to whether Kilebogile Mashele received any or all of her money. The last story that I am going to share, which involves Katlego Moribe's run-ins with the law, is one from March 2024, in which Moribe Tombstones, remember that is another business that was owned by Katlego, took the sheriff of the court to court in order to contest something from a previous case. So let me summarize that case. Moribe Attorneys previously had a large debt which they failed to pay until they were taken to court. This is unrelated to the RAF case with Ms. Kilebogile Mashele. So in a separate case, they were taken to court for not paying their debt, and the court ordered that the sheriff of the court should remove several items and properties belonging to Moribe Attorneys, sell them off in order to pay off this debt that they were refusing to pay. Items that were removed included a compressor. However, Katlego's other business, Moribe Tombstones, challenged the sheriff's action in court, insisting that the property that was removed and sold belonged to Moribe Tombstones and not Moribe Attorneys, and therefore the sheriff had made a mistake in taking and selling off those belongings. But the High Court dismissed Moribe Tombstone's application, ruling that there was insufficient proof that the goods belonged to a separate entity. After all, the two companies shared close ties. They were owned by the same person and even operated in the same business premises. So who is to know that this one belongs to Moribe Attorneys and this one belongs to Moribe Tombstones? Therefore, the case was dismissed and Moribe Attorneys was ordered to pay the sheriff's legal costs. And that is it for that case. As I mentioned earlier, the purpose of sharing these incidents involving Katlego is not to tarnish his name or cause pain to his loved ones, but rather to provide perspective on a man who, to many, was deeply complex and controversial. So far, no arrests have been made in connection with Katlego Moribe's murder, and that is it for today's case. Let me know what you think in the comments section. I'm always interested in hearing your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.